Okay. Okay. Can you hear me okay? How's that? How's the audio? Oh, what a beautiful day. It's been cold lately though. It's been chilly. Yeah, we got new chairs. We got new lawn chairs. They were on special, so I think probably because of the color, I couldn't care less. It's lawn furniture, right? So for me, the louder color for lawn furniture, the better. Lawn furniture should be something that you don't want anybody to steal, you know? Anyway, yeah, so I think they were 25 bucks each. They got a cell tel holder and a cup holder and everything. And so, more chairs, the better, right, for your yard. So, yeah, so did some shopping, did some planting. Everything in the greenhouse is doing really well. Yeah. Funny enough, from Vicky's, the cedars have grown so much I can't see into my yard anymore. I used to be able to see my yard. Used to be able to see, like, I used to be able to sit over there and just like look at Vicky's, and now they're they've doubled in height since I've moved in here. So yeah, no more seeing Vicky's view, unfortunately. I was talking to a fella yesterday about my the cedars exactly. What can we do? I want to stop them from growing higher. I don't. They're high enough. I mean, look at them. They're just to the moon. They're going to start becoming problematic, I think, if they're too tall. So, but yeah, so it's been pretty cold. We had some rain. The garden is good, but it's cold rain, stunted garden, right? So anyway, hope you're doing well, Archie. See, it's only you in the room today. Retro probably hanging out, coming. But anyway, a lot of good things that I picked up on. A couple sad things I wanted to mention too. But we'll just go right on because I think I can't remember what my title was already. I think it was I can't I'd written jailing grandma and then I changed it to something, so whatever. But I wanted to talk about yeah, she loves daughter's a total outdoors woman, whatever, and she's granola, so she loves the outdoor, loves grounding, loves being barefoot. She loved it in the yard here. Was able to just do her yoga and all her meditation in the yard. She's a very spiritual creature, so for her, it's all about the atmosphere, the spirit, relationship with the creator, stuff like that. Nature, creator, the source, stuff like that. So yeah, she loved it. Yes. Hey JC, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know. It popped up in my feed last night. And it was like George Wendt died, and I was like, no way. You know, uh, I think he was 76 something, and really weird too. I don't know why it popped up like that, but then 5 seconds later, my wife was like, "Hey, look at this," and it's a video of Cher talking. Something's going on. I think she's playing. She's doing a concert or something. I don't know. She's 79 years old, and she looks pretty good. Like, I'm not going to argue is what, like, how much money's gone into the plastics and stuff like that, but you look at George Wendt, and then he's 76. He's younger, and she's looks like she's going to live to be 1,000. And we got Kirk. How old is Bill Shatner now? Like 92, 90 something. I can't imagine. But like yeah, you see, here's my thing. If it's not a real piece, like if it's fake, like I've got like I had knee surgery, but they use all of my own parts. There's no. I know a lot of people with synthetic ligaments and new knees and and this and that, but they used all my own parts. They used my bone and my patella ligament to fix me somewhere else. So I'd be okay with that. But if you're using stuff that's not human, like plastic and like won't the like I don't know, like I guess we've mastered our Borg anti-rejection technology so that you can put, because the body will reject something. If you've ever got a sliver in your thumb and you couldn't get it, a week later your body builds something around it and then pushes it out eventually, right? So the body will adjust itself accordingly. But so like I look at Cher and I'm like, wow, those some serious cheekbones. Anyway, aftermarket parts, yeah, yeah. Okay, is it steel? Is it Teflon? Is it and when I think about that, like I'm not. For me, I'm more like like a part is a part, like a Teflon knee or a titanium hip or whatever. But when you're injecting things into you to make you swollen or to change things or something, that's what I'm talking about. Titanium, yeah. See, titanium is just another, in my opinion, just another word for bone. I mean, all the androids will have titanium bones probably, right? So yeah, so for me it's like if she's injecting liquids and stuff and potions and fillers, that would be my issue. Like my wife's getting PRP therapy. It's a pro something. It's deal. It's the plasma something, but they take your stuff, spin it around a bit, turn it into something still human, and then put it back into your body so that your body can react to it. But it's all you. So yeah. So anyway, so we'll get on with yeah. So George went. Cheers. To be honest, I don't know of him in anything else really. Some small bit parts in movies or stuff like that. But Cheers mostly with George. The guy. The best scene I can remember with George was when he was when he brought his boss in. A scene where he brought his boss in and he wanted to curtail his drinking because he always pounded him back, and his boss was one of these guys that the man can't handle his liquor or whatever like that. So and he's like, oh, and then Norm comes in and he's like, oh, let's try this place. It looks like a nice, feigning that he'd never been there before. And hey, good sir, would you like a beer? Yes, that sounds like a great. Well, let's have a beer. And then the boss like, let's have a beer. And the boss goes like this, it's a mug like this, and takes a little sip, and George, pow, and it's gone. One gulp, gone, and it goes back down. He's like, and he just puts it, and then the whole scene is just him like, licking the glass and everything. I just love that scene when he just like, where's the last drop? Botox, yeah. A friend of mine does that in town here. Like, there's men who do that. Is that normal? Do you guys know people like men that do that? I know women that do that, but I don't know any men that do. Like I do, and I was like, wow, okay, I didn't think men did that kind of stuff. Like I want my face to look weathered and old and like the road map of Germany or Switzerland or something. I don't care. It's part of aging, and okay, I got a little bit of a belly and yeah, bitch and moan, but I'm kicking and screaming, man. I'm not putting any potions in me. But anyway, paralyzed. Okay. Yeah, jailing grandma. So talking, it was about consequence. Okay, and this is why I know right now that because of the situation that we've got found ourselves in our history right now, that they want us at each other. In my opinion, they're doing things, or they're allowing things to happen, allowing no consequence things to happen, or no consequence to happen because of some things that are happening, and then we're getting pissed off. So you see this thing like it's in the UK. This lady's named Lucy Connolly. I just read the article this morning briefly, and I know of what happened to precipitate this event, but uh, we've jailed grandma for words. Meanwhile, and I'll just use this as an example because it was glaring, and my wife mentioned it last night when she was like, tragedy. I'd already read the article, but she hadn't seen it yet. But repeat offender, allegedly repeat offender. I don't have the whole story. Smashed into a vehicle. Uh, you know, three dead kids. Mom. The whole nine yards. But here it is we've got somebody who's done this before, who's doing it again, and because there's no consequence really that this kind of behavior happens, and then now we have this shit sandwich that we have to eat, and everybody's just like, what, head's got to roll, and there should be justice, and blah, blah. Meanwhile, and then you got nothing happening. That's why, like, you got this lady who made a comment about the situation that happened with the UK with those stabbings, and they arrest her. So the same thing, there's no consequence. But if there is consequence, it's by this shitty system that we've got for ourselves. It's only designed to keep the good people down. The criminals play it like it's a game. They don't care, and the system knows it because there is no consequence anymore. Because now it's more of a numbers game. Well, it's overcrowded. We got to crunch numbers. Okay, well, we don't have any room. We'll let them out, and then Bob's your uncle. Like the situation in America, we've got this ne'er-do-well, this absolute scumbag, just a useless human being who 5 police officers are in serious, one got shot in the face. Bob, I'm not going to argue, but this guy, repeat, no redeeming quantum, no consequence, and what's going on. And I'm not going to argue the actual thing with the consequence, but I'm just saying, like, people, you, me, Archie, JC, we're all watching this, go, well, he should go to jail, or that guy should never drive again in his life, or whatever. And then nothing happens, and then we're the ones sitting there holding the bag, and we're like, when our hackles get up and we get pissed off, then we go to the store and we take it out of the cashier because we're pissed off about something else. But they want us at each other, and this is what they're doing. I don't know what's going to come, but if it does push over the edge, like if it does go over, it's going to be the purge. So, once the dam's broken, once that little thing happens, and you see the water going, you're like, oh, that's not going to go well. And then it just, and the next thing you know, your town's wiped out. So this is where I see it. As it pushes and pushes and pushes, and we jail grandma because she was pissed off, and she saw, everybody's pissed off. We've still got 2 people from the Ottawa protest supposedly still in jail. I mean, see, here's the consequence. Here's the thing: there's no consequence. I'd like to see what's going to happen to that 19-year-old who crashed into that and killed all those people. I'll follow it. But I've watched some sentencing. I watched this one fella down. His channel's called 23-in-1 Lockdown 23-in-1. He's a guy who did his time, and he's got a YouTube channel. He's an influencer and he does the crime stuff, and because that's his milieu. That's what he knows. And he's even shocked with some of this shit. And he says, like, man, I would have been smoked, and and he's just going on and on, like, there's no consequence, and there's no what. This guy's been over and over and over and over and over, and he does it again. They just slap him on the wrist, either because he's rich or he's stupid, or the parents were dumb, or the parents were terrible, or whatever. There has to be consequence. There has to be a good, orderly direction of things, or else people get confused, and people get angry, and people get wondering why is the system so flawed? Why isn't it working for me? And they have the answer. It's designed that way. So don't ever plead guilty. Yeah, that's yeah. And that's all we ask for. I don't ask for, you know, I don't ask for like to just accountability. Guy crashes into, you know, the guy, you know, like the guy who cut Tim McLean's head off. I don't care if he was seeing demons or whatever. I don't care. He's got to pay for that. He's got, well, to pay for it. There's got to be a remuneration for that. You can't just get a new name and get some pills and then willy nilly you go. No, there has to be something. Now, I don't have that answer, but we've got a system that allows for, like, you know, if I were to do, like when I was stupid and I stole a car, I was going to go to jail for 2 years for a car, for just joyriding a car. I wasn't even the one who stole it, but I was in the car. But guilty, you know, and silly me pled guilty. You know, I didn't understand back then, but I just wanted it over, right? I figured they'd go easy on me, which they did, but they didn't, because I was guilty. 2 years. I was going to do 2 years. 2 years. Meanwhile, you see people do worse things, assault like this. There's a fella in Kelowna. He's got a, you know, motocross channel and stuff like that, and, you know, gets accosted by some druggy ne'er-do-well on the rail trail, and Crown's like, nah, can't pursue, you know, this or that or the other, but, you know, because we really can't do anything against this person that's going to really do anything. So, but if it was you, we can come and take your car, your house, and, you know, you can lose your job. So it's only for the slave, serf, plebe who's part of the system. These people are outside the system. Don't even bother. So jailing grandma, always good. Oh, I love THX 1138. THX 1138. Like, I saw it as a kid, right? Like, you know, I think it's a 70s movie. So I don't know, in my teens when I saw it. So I had no, and if I'm not, that's a Spielberg, isn't it? Who did that one? Is that Spielberg? Uh, absolutely. Absolutely. Lucas. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Before Star Wars. Um, I knew it was one of the big names. Um, yeah, absolutely. We did this. We did it to ourselves, and now we have this situation. Yes, we need mental hospital. We need a place for these people to go, and that's all I'm saying. You know, we, like I said, we keep losing people to drug addiction. We keep people are falling through the cracks. Everything. It's just we need places for people to go. We need places. Yeah, George. Yeah, Lucas. Yeah, THX 1138. Yeah, that's where we are right now. Meted up. You know, the robot police coming out. You know, like you know, it's almost like, where are we? Clockwork Orange, THX 1138, Brave New World, 1984 or something like that. You know, Idiocracy. I was watching Harrison Bergeron again the other day. I just came upon the scene. You know, I play the movie and I do things in the house, so I'm not really paying attention, but I have the movie going, and I come upon the scene where the president and the guy with the brain are he's trying to be rational. He's trying to, you know, Mr. President, you can't just that's where we are today. Yeah. Yeah, and I would argue that the some of the drugs that have been worked into the brains of some of our youth and our mid-range people are have made them insane. Like, it's, if I've noticed anything, like when people describe the story of like what's happened to their kid, or like, you know, my wife and her son, and I look at the pictures of when he was healthy and when he was, and then when he was using, and what the just an absolute, it's Jekyll and Hyde, right? So whatever person that you knew before is not that person anymore. So yeah, they're insane. You can't, like if I'm to believe all the stuff that I've read about what this does to families and such, and like what sons have done to their mothers and what daughters have done to their fathers over the drugs and such like that, like attacking their own family members, or stealing, like not proud to admit it, stole from my parents when I was a kid. Shame, absolute shame. But I did. And when I look at what's going, like, minor, very minor, a couple cigarettes here, a couple beer, a couple little more stuff than money, but there's cigarettes and their booze, right? Because if I take a little bit, they won't notice. If I take one cigarette, but they fucking smoke Cameo, so those were horrible. So you really had to be jonesing for a cigarette to steal a Cameo, menthol garbage. How can anybody? I think they smoked that on purpose just so we wouldn't steal their fucking cigarettes. But yeah, so the criminally insane. It's just we need a place for them. And when we had the $80 million winner for the lottery here, and the guy was just so humble, and like, if anybody I wanted to see win that 80 mil was that guy. And the way he was talking, he's the guy who's going to build a shelter in his town. He says, I got to give back. Like, if you listen to the press conference, like, he's just a Joe, an immigrant. He's been here 4 years in Canada, or whatever time he's been here, but a working stiff, blue collar family man with good ethics and morals. Hopefully the Ring of Power won't destroy him, but see, that's what you need. We need people. We need philanthropy, because obviously the government's not going to step up to the plate and fund these. It literally has to come from outside. Somebody has to. It has to be implemented again, just imposed. Just start building them. I don't know who's going to do it, how it's going to do it. Do it Star Trek money. We cured poverty and we don't have homelessness. Well, figure it out and fucking do it. They never tell you in Star Trek, we just killed off 3/4 of the population of the planet. So the numbers were so down that everybody was happy they had a job. I laugh when I say that, but we never know. It's that missing period. Okay, let's go on. So grandma's in jail. Bad. India, Pakistan has completely quieted. I listened to Patrick Lancaster's report. Now, there was something. Now, I've read back and forths, like both sides are like, yeah. It's like going to a hockey game and then the other team is lost and they're cheering that they won. And you're like, no, but they didn't. So I'm not going to argue who won or what, if there was any winning or anything. I read the article. There was some sorting out of some things, but we didn't go to nuclear war, and that's a good thing. So that's what the takeaway for me for India, Pakistan, is that nukes weren't flying, because I do believe that if I was to read that report over what's been happening in India and Pakistan about that situation that happened in Kashmir, I'm not going to argue the pros and cons of what happened, but they were lit, and they were playing war games, and for real. Now, there's articles out there, it was like, our female pilot from Pakistan knocked. Okay, there's a lot of belly painting, cheering, first female pilot to bring down a, whatever. Yay! Just a jerk off circle jerk show. Yes, I did see the Antov Petrov. Yes, yeah, go CERN. Yeah. So India, Pakistan. Okay, but here's my thing. Here's my take on it. Was that phase 1? Was that a testing? Because from what I got, this was a very almost an electronic. Yeah, there was people flying stuff, but it was more of a stuff war than an actual guy's boots on the ground, where their body's being boned to bits. And I could be wrong on what happened, but I'm looking at this as a phase. Like, yes, it's quiet down, nukes aren't flying. Yay, great. Woohoo. Happy, joy. But I'm wondering if this is a phase 1. So we'll see. A lot of weird things going on. And so many things. Yeah. What did you think about, okay, just in keeping with retro, in keeping with the orbs, did we talk about this? The MH370? I think we talked about that. The MH370 with this fella named Forbes coming out, that orbs doing this, and then all of a sudden MH370 goes bye-bye, and there's some talk that it went through a warp or a hole or something, and well, they better perfect that technology. It could be the Langoliers. I don't know. Like, did it go through that? Is it in the Langolier land? Like, where the hell is it? It's something. And here again, this is where I find ourselves. With all that's going on. I think there's two distinct realities we've got right now, and it's at all possible. Like, you don't want to tell all your secrets, right? Let's say they do have time travel. Let's say they do have time machines. Let's say they have technology where they can warp somewhere. I don't know. I don't. And they're using it for their own nefarious gains, and they're doing something, or they're trying to mold however we're going to be in the future because they've looked into the future. Whatever. I don't know. But I can promise you that just by the way I was trained in the military, that I know that there's shit out there, like, and most of the stuff that we see is just a distraction. JFK, Epstein files, you know. I think that's where we see ourselves. So, where is that plane? With the level of technology that we have on this planet, that plane cannot not be somewhere. So I just leave it at that. So, but the India-Pakistan wasn't phase one. Okay. Sad note. You had mentioned George Wendt. Did you see the Scott Adams video? Dilbert. I wasn't a Dilbert fan. I never really read the comic strip much. When I did do newspaper, I believe Dilbert was in the newspaper. It was one of those. There was the Far Side, the Wizard of Id. You had the comic section, and it was always the same stuff, right? So Dilbert wasn't. I would read it, but it wasn't my go-to. That was more of a office thing. But anyway, so sad that he knows he's going to die. I'm wondering about it though too, like the timing of it, because now we've got the Biden thing going on right now, and both of them supposedly have the same thing. Now, I keep what, pardon me, I keep wondering if, like, I just keep wondering about it. No, there's nothing put out into the mainstream media for no reason. Like, there's a reason they put the stories out. The reason they haven't really, they're not broadcasting the thing about the St. Louis police officers because the certain ne'er-do-well wasn't the right demographic or whatever. But there's reasons that they do things, and there's reasons that they don't do things. And there's a reason that this is in the forefront right now. For what? I don't know. There's a reason for it. Yeah. UFOs, eh? Yeah. No, drone technology. I wouldn't like. We've got it. We send drones. We've got 2 drones, I think, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, somewhere out in interstellar space. I would call those drones. They're flying. They seem to be doing something. Could you call Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 a drone? Like I said, like I'm willing. I'm open-minded, but I would send drones first. That's me. Just one of those things. I wish it would be just one of those things, but it isn't. It just can't be. It's just a coincidence. What did V say? There is no coincidence, only the illusion of coincidence. You know. Yeah, no consequence. Oh, I haven't seen the press conference yet, but I want to see the press conference, like when I watched the Zelensky one with the Vance and the Orange Man bad. I want to watch the one with the South African president and Trump troll him right there in the office. Like, I gotta watch that. I haven't watched that yet. Have you guys seen that one where he trolls the African president, the South African president, when he says, "No, there's no white genocide," or whatever you call it, the genocide against the whites? Nah. They're doing fine. We're doing okay. They're fine. They're just bitching and moaning. you know, and then he plays the video for him. I haven't seen. I just saw that. I just read the transcript, so I'm gonna watch the video. It's amazing what we see and what we don't see. Yeah, wasn't that in Phantom Aircraft? Wasn't that in War Games? Like supposedly the technology was that they could project an image so far, and now with the with lasers and God knows what, can we do a light show? Yeah, yeah. There was an absolute Forbes 220. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. What the press conference, and he starts playing the video of the one of the leaders in Africa calling for the chanting for the death to the Boers or whatever. And I don't think he meant the pigs. But anyway, we'll just see how that goes. Just it's just another one of those things that we're like we're being told one thing and like if you've watched that viral video, I don't know if you've seen that viral video. I think it's from 2 or 3, maybe 5 years ago. It's from South Africa. I think it's a money car, and these guys are under fire, and they're returning fire from inside the vehicle. Like South Africa's turned into an absolute lawless wasteland, in my opinion, and we're just the media or whatever, whoever is in charge of the narrative is just desperately trying to like, no, 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 no. It's not like that exactly. Yeah, okay. Are you sure? Are you sure? How's it? I hear it's really good. Everybody's emigrating to South Africa right now. I hear. No, it's not. But anyway, it's doing so well. I wonder what happened. You know. Yeah. Oh, Mexican tall ship. Did anybody see that video? Mexican tall ship going backwards with tugs there, like immediately, like like side by each. Like, didn't you have lines across? Like, what were you doing? Some people died on that. Like, I don't even know how to make heads or tails of that. Like I've been in the Navy. Shit like that should not happen. You know, like I don't even know what to say about it. I've looked at it. Yeah, like this is like the thing with the Evergreen or the Everleaf or whatever the crap that got stuck in the Suez or the canal, and they had a pilot on board, and then like I don't. Yes, glitches happen. I just, especially the tall ship, that seemed so like backwards. Something must have gone completely wrong. But you know, there's procedures for that. You know, like, and I don't know how much time they had, but like I looked at the video and I'm like, wow, okay, he's going backwards. They must have been scrambling because like for us, like we've done like Navy, right? Done exercises, and these guys are Navy. These are officer cadets, supposedly like trained. I'm sure they've done overboard like drills, right? You do drills, right? Oh, we lost steerage weight. Automatically, we drop the anchor. You know, fore and aft, whatever we can do to stop the boat from crashing into something, you got to do it. You know, and when I see these things happening, especially, you know, unless it's like a foggy night in the Bedford Basin back during World War One, where they couldn't see each other and the technology wasn't there, but today, for two boats, ships, whatever. Okay, small boats, yeah, you don't have radar. We still haven't had the what happened with the Navy stuff with that guy dying last year. But those big, like something like that, in such a policed waterway, there something. It could have been a simple thing like the pilot didn't know and he pressed the wrong button. It could have been that simple. But you know, just seems really weird. Yeah. Oh, retro, my feed. I can't. I have to start retraining the algorithm. I mean, I say one thing and it pops up in my computer because I've got the box on the wall who listens. I've got this plugged in, which listens. Ex-wife, or sorry, ex-wife, wife's phone that listens. Uh, Multitude of objects in the house that listen. because you know, okay, I'll watch French videos and Spanish videos, so I'll get that in my feed as well. But for me, I'm polluted with all the conspiracy stuff right now. There's nothing, like, I can't see any of my friends' stuff because they, you know, get there, you know, like, I did a hike video to Vicky's View, and then it'll be like Star Trek, and then now it's totally polluted now. So yeah, it's getting to the point where, yeah, major clusterfuck. That's a major, because people died. People died. Like, anyway, I'm just mouthing. Don't know why it happened. I'm sure that there's going to be some kind of investigation, and we're just be fed a line that jet fuel melted the steel and the buildings fell. Move on. That something happened, but he was having a shit. He should have been in the bridge, like but no, like, no consequence. Like, nothing's going to come of it, right? Just going to be a story, and then we'll just move on to the next one. So crazy. More JFK distraction. Like, another doctor's come out. Another like, enough, enough. Enough is enough. We all know that it was probably a certain country over on the other side with a mix of uh, smatterings of an alphabet and other alphabets, and didn't like the way things were going and took them out. You know, 86 whatever, you know, and that we'll just go with that. But we're still going on and on and on about it. So, you know, if anything, if I can say anything, that America's friendship with that certain country over on the other side, it's spelled nothing but disaster for America ever since its inception. So we'll just leave it at that. Exactly. Exactly. The explanations on page 75 in the bottom, in fine print, the size of medical print, you know, that you can't read because it's not something that you want to hear. That the bridge fell down because of feels, or that like when the ferry sank up north on the British Columbia coast, I don't know, some 20 years ago, that it ended up that, you know, well, the it was never confirmed, but yeah, they were off shagging while the boat was sailing on its own, or they were shagging, or they were doing something anyway, but no consequence. So we never really find out the story, right? We're fed a story. We're fed like, you know, jet fuel brought the buildings down. There you go. Here it is. Take it or leave it. I'll leave it. Well, then, fuck you. That's it. You know, it's over. It's all over with the crying. You know, but yeah, the tall ship. So, you know, but in speaking with that uh, little country over in the sandbox, we'll just call it. My mother used to always say something, because right now we've got an absolute um, what it seems to be is like a dog can't seem to stop chasing cars. That's what we seem to have over there. We seem to have this thing that can't stop doing whatever it's doing, and threatening and doing stuff, and making saying shit, just saying shit. And just like with the dog who chases cars, the best thing to have a dog stop chasing cars is you let it catch one, which is what my mother did to our dog. Our dog used to chase cars all the time till mom ran over it. And guess what? After its 2 or 3 weeks of healing and getting its leg out of its own ear, the dog never chased cars again. Some of the point that this is me. If I was the Orange Man dad, okay, I play that gray-haired fool for what he is, mad dog nut job. And yeah. We'll be right. I'll be right. I'll have your back. I'll be right behind you. I'll be right behind you. Let him chase the car on his own. Let him catch the car. Let him catch the car. Let him suffer the consequence of catching. Now, a lot of now, this is me being very humoristic about something that would be very horrible and bad, because it would go south. Of course, you know that. So, but yeah, let that prick just catch a car. I would give that. Yeah, the Baltimore Bridge. My daughter was describing Baltimore. I've been to Baltimore. It's yeah, it's a very interesting place. I can only imagine that that bridge came down. This is my opinion, that absolutely no infrastructure work was done. Like, it was just probably pushed off, and monies were spent elsewhere, and that bridge just literally fell down or whatever after the boat crashed into it or something, right? Yeah, yeah. Just recognize the distractions for what they are, because they're gonna put because that's what they're gonna do. That's their easiest play, is to look at it, you know, pow, 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 shiny thing, shiny, and it's funny too. It's funny. We joke about that. For me, we joke about that. We joke about that all the time. If you want to just distract Michael, turn on a fire siren, fire truck, and then I'll everything will stop, and I'll just be watching the fire truck or the ambulance or the cop car, because I'm got that emergency services in my head. Distraction, shiny thing, shiny thing. Look over there, shiny thing, shiny thing. It's so easy. It's so easy. I've done it myself as a tool, like as a thing, when I first got the custody of my children. There was a lot of stuff at play in that time frame, with a lot of emotion and family stuff and stuff like that. So I wanted to distract them. So I take them to the beach every day, because I wasn't working. The stay home dad, I'm saying. So I could take them to the beach, like, when there was nothing, if they weren't in school, I was doing something with them to distract them, so that their mind wouldn't be on that. And that's what's going on now. So we're being distracted from this. We're distracted from this. We're being distracted from, like, our to help our fellow man, because we're so angry with this that we can't be nice to them, because we're just so angry over here. It's so easy, and humans can be easily distracted. Like, I mean, it's a thing that we are trained in the military to do. Like, you'll be doing something, and then the drill sergeant will come in, and they'll distract you, try and put you off, and see how you adapt or how you function. And they know the ones that distract us the most right now: UFOs, JFK, Epstein, pedophilia, anything that is suspect against a certain. If this demographic is getting a little bit more than that demographic, that's a distraction for us, you know. And it's almost like everything is a distraction. Your relationship with your creator is not a distraction. Your source, the relationship that you have with your source, is not a distraction. Whatever you go to your source, retro, to go for your inspiration, that's not a distraction. You're being distracted from that, so that you can't be creative. You've got all this stuff in your brain, and I'm not saying specifically that you can't be creative, but that's what they want you to do. They don't want you to be creative. They want you to be just like watching Leave It to Beaver, whatever they've got to distract you. My friend's a pilot. I was in the Navy. I'm sorry, I can't go flat Earth. I can't. No, no. I know you just mentioned it, but I always like that one though. I saw a fella made a trip to Antarctica. I want to go there. There is a tourism thing that you can go to Antarctica, and you're just on the outskirts. You're not in the middle or anything, where the real stuff is happening. You know, Man, Antarctica is big. I never realized how big it is. It's big. It's like space big. You know. Anyway. Okay, so I don't know if they're doing this and they're putting this into the psyche, just to, if they're trying to just get us, that we find it funny. Like, it's like when they introduce something, they introduce it in a benign factor, or a benign way, or they try and make it, well, it's gonna make your life better, but it really doesn't. Or down the line, it's used for something else. And remember, I used to joke about the slaughter bots, right? There was a thing, a fake TED talk about this guy and his little slaughter bot, and Bzzz, pow, and kill the terrorists. We don't have any terrorism. We're gonna win against terrorism because we got slaughter bots now. And then I saw this thing. This thing popped up in my feed, of course, murder bot, and I was like, oh, interesting. And I started looking at it, and I'm like, oh, I have to. I don't know if they're trying to desensitize us or what. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. If you guys have seen that, yeah. Have you seen anything? Have you seen anything on the murder bot? I see the trailer. He comes out, and he's shooting the centipede or whatever. And then he goes into the centipede and he kills. And that's but the introduction of it. They're really, but a lot of videos of AI and spastic robots. Like ha ha ha, like the humorous side. Like watch the when the code goes wrong. Maybe the code wasn't wrong and that's what it was supposed to do. You know, like if a piece of metal is spinning around, like let's say I don't know, you got a murder bot. Let's say you made a murder bot, but it doesn't need a gun. All it needs to do is like spin like a ballerina and it has a hand and it just spins and it cuts you in half or whatever. I don't know. Fuck, I'm just being an asshole. But just we're like we're like laughing about it, like oh it'll be great, somebody to make my pumpkin pie so I don't have to cook, or we're being sold the bill of goods that it'll help grandma across the street and it'll be there to take the cat out of the tree, or and then I think we're being very very desensitized, you know and oh it'll be like the beginning of RoboCop, when they're doing the ads, and they're like, and we'll see the ad, you pick the heart and you pick your slave, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want that future, you know. Yeah, let the dog catch the car. Um, the Dilbert thing. He says he won't be here this summer, so I wish you well, Scott Adams. Uh, you brought a lot of people entertainment. Like my buddy, man, he was in pain, and that's what Scott Adams says, that he's in a lot of. I think it's the pain, and that's what my buddy said. Like when he was with his stage 4 lung cancer, um, he couldn't take the pain no more. I was in Ecuador, you know, but he took the medical assist. He couldn't take the pain anymore. He did everything he could. He tried everything. He tried all the the holistic and the cures and the cleanses and the so I mean, I wish him well. I wish him well. Just you know, I wish him well. Yeah, that would be interesting. You know, could you do that? Have a war fought specifically just by AI? I don't think it would work. There'd be cheating. We cheat now. We have men competing with women. That's cheating. Yeah, yeah. It's man. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, rest in peace. Soon, Scott Adams, and I wish you well. And but he was very happy because he says now I know, and I can get all this time. I can get everything sorted out. So I guess that's kind of important. It was like I mean my buddy who passed, same thing, and he said, "Oh, I'll be fine," and I get the call from my dad. No, he died, and I was like, "Fuck," you know. But at least if you know, and then you got the time, right? So that's one positive out of it. So like my buddy, he had time, right? So he knew it was coming. Yeah, I have a lady. I know a girl who works in hospice, and they every week they have a meeting of. It's a loss meeting. Everybody who has lost loved ones, they go and they share, and they talk about their loss and everything like that. Because Like my friend, she could have died, man. Stage 4, took a liver hit on her bike, mountain bike, whatever. I don't know if I told you guys that, but one of our firefighters, she was out on her, that, you know, fuck, I call them 10 speeds. I know I'm stupid, but it's a mountain bike and it's got gears and suspension and shit, and they go crazy in the bush, right? But she wiped out and took a liver hit, like fucking lacerated her, like cut her liver, like punctured her liver. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So a lot of pain out there. So, but she's doing okay. She's on the mend. But man, she was the color of Shrek. Your liver's important. Glad I don't drink no more. Fuck, you don't want liver problems, man. No fucking way. Fit as a fiddle, right as rain, not sidle, but feel the insanity in the air. Yeah, absolutely. Same here. I feel the same as you guys. Good. You know, my marbles are still up there pretty well. Not too bad. Oh, there we go. Did you hear that? We're starting to do the 12 o'clock steam horn every day. So every day we do the 12 o'clock steam whistle in the cusp. They try to keep it low because if you really pull that thing, man, it's like, and you scare the shit out of everybody downtown. So they try to keep it a little subdued. So the steam whistle's back. That tells you summer's here. So yeah, it's just absolutely insane. So it's the marbles are still good. I'm still fairly fit. I just had my medical, my fit test, my PSA, like Biden did supposedly back in 2014. You have the if you're a suspect, you're having those you're not having it. Like that wasn't the last one. No fucking way, man. I get those. I demand them. Even if I have to pay for them, I demand them. They're like $15. I don't care if I have to pay for it. I want to know if because it goes to the microscopic level. It detects a cancer cell right away, so they can start you on it right away or whatever they get you on ivermectin or whatever. Doesn't matter. But yeah, and that's the thing too. Don't forget, like you're your best healing medium. Positive outlook, positive mind, positive body. Positive frame of mind. You're eating well, you're trying well. You're out, you're grounding, whatever you're doing to make yourself better. Your creativity and everything like that. But this whole shit show is designed to keep you down. It's all it's doing. My daughter was like, really like, yeah, man, you just got to push it out. You just got to find your place. Like, find your place to go. Find your place. I'm glad that I was conditioned as slave in the military, where I can literally just sit and go somewhere and be gone. What have you been doing for the last hour? Nothing. You know, but a good nothing. So, anyway. Great to see you guys, man. Oh no, I agree with you. Social media was a good thing as at the start. Grandma wants to see the, and they always start it like that, so benign. And you see the picture of grandma, a little tear coming out. The children sent me a photo with they pressed the button. I got the photo right away, and everybody's all happy because grandma's got her photo, and she's not alone, and she's not dying alone, and everything. Meanwhile, they don't tell you the real part. There's pedophilia on the internet too, right? So yeah, it's not just about grandma's photos of the kids. So yeah, I believe that. Well, I do believe that that's the truth because I noticed that um, you can just whenever there's a confront, if you're being confronted, you just go, you leave, block, go. You can be in your own within a day. You can be in your own little echo chamber, and you don't have to I can be Star Trek. Fuck Star Wars, man. It's only Star Trek for me. That easy, I'm not going to talk to any of those people who have who don't think like I do or believe like I do, and then wow, and then you just spun in your own little circle of shit, and then you think your shit don't stink after about a month. Or I'm just picking a timing, of course, but yeah, you do nothing wrong. No, 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 no. All my followers tell me I'm doing the right thing. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Yeah. I pray for the future. Right now. I'm praying for. We just got some really bad news. Remember, I was talking about a certain type of cancer that seems to be going around. That's really aggressive and unable to, or not responding to traditional treatments or anything. And I was mentioning that was a young lady that had the gizzard cancer. I got my one friend in there with the liver, and now this one, she's like, she's not well. She was like irradiated, cleaned, and now it's back with a vengeance. Pray. Her name is Jo, and she's a really nice lady, and it's really sad. And that's what we got to deal with. So, anyway, be strong, be true to yourself, be true to your school. You know what's right and what's wrong. Um, for me, it's all about being in the yard and being grounding. I hope you guys have your gardens. I really hope you have a little victory garden for yourself. Just a little hobby, a pot plant. I don't care. Something you can look at that you can nurture and bring to life or whatever. But yeah, we're doing well. And once everything's in, I'll do a video of the garden for sure. So we'll see how it goes in the next week. There will be a show next week. I don't see there being a problem. Daughter's gone now. Yeah, it's just she's in hospital right now, and it's just not good. It's just I spoke to a friend, and they were like, "Yeah, we saw her," and they're just their face is hanging down on the ground. You're like, you're trying to be positive. Just I'm praying for her. I'm praying for her every day. Praying for her every fucking day. Just like that little girl that we had at church, man. Like she was really in a bad way, and we had collective prayer days for her, and she's fine now. Now, yeah, yeah. Sour sop tea daily. Okay. I had to lay off the coffee, guys. It was giving me the heartburn pretty bad, so I'm teeing it for a while. Is that sour soup or sour sop? Pardon my ignorance. I don't know what you wrote there, Retro. Is that a type of tea? I will look into it. Okay, okay, okay. Yep. The key is to be healthy. Try and be as healthy as you can, as best as you can with what you with what your creator gave you. If you were born diabetic, there's nothing you can do, right? So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, next week, same bad time, same bad channel. This book is now full with all of every show that I've done, all my notes. I got to go back and read through all the insanity. Okay. Anyways, great to have you guys out here. It's JC, Retro, Archie, whomever else was out here today. If you were out here for a brief moment, thank you for coming out. I appreciate everything. Be true to your school. Be strong. Stay frosty. Know that you're being distracted. Know that that's the key, and know that they're trying to pit all of us against each other while they're doing their shenanigans. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. Anyway, we'll see you next Wednesday, guys. If anything comes up, like if I go for Vicky's, if I go something that's interesting, I'll do a video. Okay? So we'll see you next week. Yeah. And I'm sure there'll be something to talk about. Okay. Take care. I'll talk to you next week. Peace. Get this thing. End stream. Where's my mouse? There it is. End stream. Okay. Peace, love, and grooviness.